Good morning. It's day number 160. Yesterday I had 32,579 steps, and today I'm going for another 24,000. Couple milestones I hit. Just topped 5 million steps over the last 159 days, as well as a little more than 2,500 miles. Out here on another walk in Dallas. I'm now in Uptown Dallas, where my event is, and it's a little bit different scenery, a little bit less industrial. There's actually a bike path / sidewalk to walk on, so that's kind of nice. A little change of pace. Not so many big trucks and cars, but I mean, that's typical of this time of morning. This is one of those mornings. It's kind of rare, but it happens from time to time where I just didn't feel like getting up. Maybe it was the heater running. The room was a little cold, and that heater gets you all nice and warm, comfortable. And I just did not want to get out of bed. But here we are. This is what it looks like doing something you don't want to do. Once you get going, you forget why you didn't want to do it, and all of a sudden, you're 6 miles, 12 miles deep, and then you're back from your journey. I'm loving this. I really am. Like that this is my story now, and I don't have the same sad story I had before. A story of triumph, a story of change, a story of I'm not gonna put up with the old irresponsible version of myself, but actually set out on a journey of self-improvement and work to bring others with me. You know, people, not everybody says something, about what they're doing, and that's completely fine. I'm a relatively private person. This is one of those things that I'm sharing to inspire people, to motivate people to get up and do something for themselves before it's too late. And while I don't think it's necessarily ever too late, what I mean by that is some people go so far down a path that they really believe in their mind that they can't come back. I couldn't be farther from the truth. But then some people are on a path of such intense destruction, with different substances, and they just get stuck in a cycle. Their organs get damaged. I hope those people that are on that path can turn around and realize there's some greatness in them if they take that first step. I'm just gonna walk for a bit, look around, think to myself. I have a commitment to post every day, and while I have the same 60,000 thoughts as a lot of people, sometimes I like to enjoy the silence of the walk. Most of the time I reserve that for after filming my videos. So maybe I'll show you some of the scenery that's around so you can see what I'm looking at. Most of the times when I set out on these walks, I feel like I could go forever. There was a time when I lived in Los Angeles, I drove to Austin, Texas. And from when I hit West Texas to Austin, I think I was in Texas for more than 8 hours. A lot of the driving was at night, and you literally can't see anything. But to go 8 hours of driving through a state and not even really go halfway through is just kind of unreal. This place is huge. And if this is one of those states where if I wanted to just keep walking down this road, I could probably not hit the end. Yesterday I hit the end where there was a train, but that's not likely to happen on this path. And certainly I'll find out as I keep going though. I'm always surprised when I end up seeing some do not enter signs and it's a freeway entrance a freeway exit or something like that. And then I got to turn around and go back. Yesterday it was a train crossing that stopped me. The rumble of that train is pretty powerful, and not a lot of other things are driving by, or not a lot of commotion is going on. Things produce a really loud noise. Plus, I think the train might have been stopping, so it's a pretty extreme screeching for a pretty consistent amount of time. As I mentioned before, I'm a YouTube Premium subscriber. And yesterday, while I was setting things up for work, I was listening to Nemo 504, phenomenal, really positive dude from New Orleans. Just listening to his live and just spreading some positivity. And it's just nice to hear. You could feel through the audio like the genuine, just good in this guy. And on his channel, it just helps other YouTubers grow. He's got some funny things to say and got a very thick New Orleans accent. It just makes me smile. I just listened to him for a couple hours yesterday, just interacting with different subscribers and helping introduce subscribers to other YouTubers. It's just cool. Like, the community here is pretty awesome. Once you find the right one, you can find whatever you're looking for, be it negative or positive on any platform, but I'm seeking out the positive. Fortunately, this isn't like Facebook or Instagram where there's a ton of negative stuff just thrown up in your face. I mentioned the other day that I moved away from making shorts. That's been one of the best decisions ever. Analytics are looking better, more consistent. I'm getting a little more used to walking and talking. Even when I pass people by, there's always like this pause that you have instinctively when you're walking by someone and you're talking to your camera. And there's an odd look that they give you. But that odd look doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter. The judgment from other people, whatever. Because here's the thing. As you approach that person, this is at least my experience, as you approach that person, you're maybe in their view for just a few seconds, and then the interaction's done. They don't say anything to you. And you just keep talking and keep walking. I'm here for the people that want to watch these videos. And that number is growing each and every day. And I'm grateful for every single one of you that is literally walking along the journey with me, like just trying to show you some different places. I have the opportunity to travel sometimes more than I'm at home. I'm going to count up my flights later on, see how many flights and different places I've been to this year. This is my third time in Dallas this year, and I kind of like it. Like, every city has its own little charm. Because I'm carnivore and the amount of barbecue spots here, I really love it because there's not a lot of bad barbecue here. You know, I can try so many different places. I think where I'm staying right now, there's 10 or 12 different spots in close proximity. I guess everything's kind of close proximity for me. My favorite place, Pecan Lodge, is about 4 miles away. But my work days start a little bit later here and end a little bit later. So I don't know if I'll make it over there this trip. It's okay though. Last time I was here, I went there every day. I think I was here 5 days. I had a break for a day. I went back to Vegas, and I came back here the next day. And I was back here for 5 or 6 days and went to Pecan Lodge that many times. They have this really good sausage. Like, the way their grinded mixes is just, it's unique. It's a type of blend I've never had before. And man, like, thinking about it right now, obviously they're not open. But if they were, you know, I got 24,000 steps in the budget. I could make it there and back and then go back there again. But unfortunately, they're not open right now. Otherwise, they'd have a little bit of business for me. Starting to get a little colder, which I kind of like, to be honest. It gives just a little bit more challenge. I prefer the warmth. You know, living in Vegas, it gets extremely hot. So that's kind of one of the other reasons why I developed waking up this early, is the sun is going to be down for, usually like during the summer, the peak of the summer, the sun's out like at 5:20, 5:30. So that means that I can walk about 8 miles before the sun comes up. But sometimes getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's still 103, 105, 110 degrees outside. And you can really feel it. But when that sun comes out, you know, I can see my heart rate elevate, you know, blood's pumping, and my body's likely like, what are you still doing out here? So I like to get these walks in early, make them the first part of my day, and then move on. Work will always be there. Sometimes life and work gets in the way of the things that you know you need of the things that you know you need to do for yourself. That's why I don't save this part of it, this part of my life, for after things might get in the way. I've done that before. It doesn't work for me. It might work for you. You might be an afternoon person or an evening person. To each their own. This is my time. The early morning, when no one's out, when there's less drivers and people to dodge, less noise. Good time to record. Good time to see these neon lights from different restaurants shining. The cities are just so different at night versus when everybody's up. The things that I get to see uninterrupted are just fantastic. Some of these cities, landmarks, and, the reason why people come from all over the world to see them, and the places are crowded during the day. I get to go there and I just get to see everything, with no blockage. Like when I was in Chicago, the bean, I forget exactly what it's called, but there's this big chrome bean in the middle of a park. And during the day, there's so many people around it, like thousands of people. So if you want to get a picture without all those people, the best time to be up is early in the morning. But there's like a sweet spot. That's what I like about 3, because when I was driving for Uber, I was like the sweet spot where the majority of the people that were going to throw up in your car had already went home. And I found that I was just picking people up from work or taking people to work. So I didn't have to worry about those people. But then the thing about Vegas is it's 24 hours. So you might pick someone up. I picked this guy up one time. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. There's a bar called Dottie's in Vegas. Someone told me there's like 800 plus locations. And the more I drive around Vegas, the more I believe that, because they're everywhere. But anyways, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Guy gets in my car and he starts talking to me. Nice guy. He liked the music I was playing. And he asked me to play a few different things. He was just really enjoying things and just telling me about his day. Once we got to the destination, I'm sure you've probably taken an Uber before, but those rides queue up as the driver's going, and they have the opportunity to accept a ride or leave it. Well, as I approached this destination, I accepted a ride, and he had had so much to drink. And once we got to his place, he opened the door, and we're, parked against the curb. And he just kept talking to me. 5 minutes passed by, kept talking. 1 foot out of the car, 1 foot in. Finally, I said, "Hey, sir, I gotta go." It's situations like that are just kind of funny, because everybody's just kind of in their own lane, going through their own thing. There's some cool furniture in there. It's one of my favorite things about Palm Springs. Whenever I'm in Palm Springs, it's the furniture stores. Let's just walk through here real quick. Check this out. It's like a modern furniture store. Looks pretty cool. I'm into the modern furniture design. That's something you see a lot of in Palm Springs. It's all these boutique stores. I have not looked at the the price of those furnitures though, because I imagine they're probably get a couch for $7,000-8,000. That's a cool site. Let me go and show you guys this. There's another benefit here. Since there's not a lot of cars driving around, you can cross the street almost whenever you want. This is definitely eye-catching. Whoever put this up here definitely knew what they were doing. I'll reveal it in just a second. This is a museum. Oh, that's cool too. Look at that car. It's like it came from up in the sky and just ran right into the ground. This is the beautiful stuff that I get to see, like people's creativity every single morning. And being in a different place, all right, I'm going to turn around and reveal what I was talking about. Being in a different place every morning is just really something else. Look at that pink Playboy bunny, the bow tie and everything. Got a story about that bunny. So when I was in 7th or 8th grade, I went to La Mesa Junior High School, and they still had, I think it was called culinary as an elective, either culinary or home ec. And for one, the teacher, the entire year, acted as if she had a Southern accent. So every single day she played the part of someone with a Southern accent. And the last day of school, we came in and she didn't have the accent. And she told us she was messing with us the entire year. So every single day she showed up in character. And she was a really nice lady. But one of the things she taught us how to make was a bunny cake. And it's when you take 2 cake rounds. One of them is going to be the face. And then you cut the ears into the other cake round. And when you cut the ears out of it, it leaves a bow tie that you put underneath the round. It kind of looks like the Playboy bunny. Interesting cake to make in school. But back when I was a sugar fiend, I loved that class. That class was great. We did a lot of baking. I learned all kinds of things. I don't know if they still have classes like that or not, but that and like auto shop were some of the most sought after classes. And I mean, those real world skills are definitely super valuable. Not a lot of people work with their hands anymore. Like people are, when I go to work at people's houses or businesses, they're really impressed at the things that I can do. And I think it's just because there's not so much emphasis on working with your hands anymore. Everything is done on the computer, everything is AI, everything is digital. So the disconnect from, using your hands to get things done is definitely real. It's definitely real. I can see trade work just blowing up in the next 5 to 15 years. That reminds me of a kid I picked up, and I say kid because he was just out of high school, and he was a union drywaller in Vegas. And like I always say, I always ask people how they're doing. I'm genuinely interested. So he started to tell me his story, and he was just telling me that, his parents in particular had a different dream for him than what his dream was, but he found that once he started drywall and construction, he really liked it. He was really good at it. When you're really good at something and you enjoy it, it's an indicator that you should probably do that thing. Because the short time we are here, wouldn't it suck to just do something that you hated the entire time? And then you look back and you're like, man, now I see the world for what it is. I had so many options, but I picked something that I hated to do because of making money. Yes, we all have to make money. One of the things I'm working toward right now is getting all my bills paid off. So I don't have to work so much. I can work less so I can enjoy life more. One of the most valuable things that coming to Texas for the first time and second time opened me up to coming from Southern California, where it's hustle and grind and leave your house early and come back late and repeat. As I saw an example of my friend Lewis in Austin, Texas, going to work, and then after he had a volleyball league, and then he had other activities to do after work, and I thought, wow, there's actually time to do things in between work. And when you come home and not just sit in traffic It was really eye-opening. It was one of the most eye-opening things as well once I moved to Las Vegas. And I found that it didn't take hours to get to places. Like anywhere I want to go in the city, it's about a 15 to 20 minute drive, no matter what time of day it is. Now, people that are from there, they complain about the traffic. But since I've been exposed to real traffic, traffic in LA, traffic in Medellin, Colombia, that's traffic. If you've ever heard of the game Frogger, crossing the street is like Frogger there. People think about stopping for you, so you gotta time it. Or Pattaya, Thailand, or Bangkok, Thailand. Like people their focus is going. So they're not really looking out for pedestrians. You gotta look out for those cars and just move across the street. Or New York City, where that signal, that walk signal comes on. They do not play, they step right off the curb. I believe I kind of belong in New York City because the pace that people walk, they're getting things done. No one is lollygagging through life unless they're a tourist and they're, stopping and taking pictures. But you could tell the people that are from there, because I think like the New York pace is like 4.5 miles an hour walking. These people are moving. They're not messing around. They're not wasting any time. There's just no way. Wow, there's just about every fast food burger spot right here. Burger King, Jack in the Box, McDonald's. I got a cool view of the skyline here. Let me just show you that. See, this is kind of what I enjoy doing. It's just walking through, talking about what I see, and every day I just feel like I'm getting better and better at this YouTube thing, at least in my eyes, which is all that really matters. And just getting to experience these different scenes. I mean, I traveled to so many places this year for work, and I didn't just press record. I should have, but I didn't. But that's changed now. That's changed. There's no more letting gear just sit in the corner and collect dust. I'm done with that. No more. When I get home, I'm gonna put together a little store on my website of all this stuff that I have that's just sitting, that I don't use anymore, so I can declutter my place. Not like I'm living on an episode of Hoarders or anything, but I just want to get rid of the stuff that I don't use and not put other stuff in its place. I just want to be done with that part, and I will be. But keep an eye out on the Brandon.Vegas website. There'll be a store link pretty soon. I'll have clothes on there, electronics. I got all kinds of DJ gear, just all kinds of stuff. Well, look, I'm gonna keep making, but either way, like I'm glad you're here. If you're still watching this video, I think I just hit the 30-minute mark. First time ever on a video. And I'm just gonna leave this one uncut. I have a few stumbles in my words, but the goal for me is to start doing these videos without edits. And the people that want to watch them will watch them, and the people that don't won't. I mean, whatever. Doesn't matter. I want you to just see who I am, hear what I have to say, but if that's not for you, it's okay too. There's 8 billion of us, 8 billion plus of us in the world, so while I know I'm not for everybody, if you made it this far, I'm definitely for you. Today is day 160 of showing up for myself every single day. It feels so great. It feels amazing to be consistent at something. I started this video, and you remember, said I didn't want to do it. I got a smile on my face now, because once you get out and start doing the action, everything just changes. It's not being at the gym, it's getting to the gym. And then once you get there, you're like, oh, my workout's already done. I don't even want to leave this place now. I feel so great. And that's how I feel a lot of mornings, most mornings on my walks. I feel energized. I feel refreshed. I feel like a new person, and I get the opportunity to be a new person every single day. I want to thank you for following my journey if you made it this far. And just leave the comment 160. That's about 5 months. And this time of year, 5 months and 6 days, 5 months and 5 days. But this is what 5 months and 5 days looks like of showing up. Last time I weighed in before I left, I was 197.4 pounds. And I believe I started off at 232 and change at the beginning of this journey. So I'm literally seeing the differences, the loss in weight, and the growth in mindset and knowledge. Until next time, guys, which is tomorrow, have a great one.